Well, we've seen this in other periods, of course, Frank. You know, there was famously the intelligentsia in the West backed the Khmer Rouge in Cambodia. They backed Chairman Mao and his Great Leap Forward, or some of them did. But it seems to me they then had at least a plausible excuse of ignorance. And now there is no excuse. Ignorance is not an excuse for people who can see this on their mobile phones in their own pockets.
Well, that's the thing. Usually when people commit atrocities, they hide it. And they pretend that they weren't involved in ethnic cleansing or any other horrible acts, war crimes. In this case, it's the very opposite. They kind of flaunted it. They basically boasted about the fact that they've killed all these civilians. What was interesting was that the reaction among sections of the intelligentsia was to suggest that, in fact, the Jewish people that were killed were not civilians, because apparently all Jewish people in Israel are somehow either settlers or somehow complicit in acts of oppression. And therefore the argument was that it's quite okay to murder them because they don't count as kind of legitimate civilians. And what really surprised me was the almost like casual anti-Semitism that came out, this kind of casual anti-Semitism dressed up as really a legitimate act on the grounds that what was happening in Israel was the process of decolonization. And when you decolonize a society, then everything is permitted.
Yeah, this decolonization narrative, this idea, it seems to me they're in love with the idea of this without any reference to what it actually does on the ground, whether it is fair or helpful or not.
Well, the thing is, if you believe in the new version of decolonization, which has got nothing to do with colonies, but it's all about discrediting and destroying the legacy of Western civilization, if you believe in that, then what you see is something that is very different than what you and I visualize, because the theory of decolonization desensitizes you from the suffering of certain kinds of people who are meant to be oppressors or settlers or colonialists. And once you are deemed to be in that category, then the pain you suffer, the humiliation you suffer, you could be raped and killed, and you can have your children murdered, that is not seen in a way that is comprehensible to you and I or to normal human beings, because regardless of what we think of those individuals, we're shocked by that kind of almost pornographic elevation of atrocity into an entertainment format. We're almost horrified. For them, this is a cause for celebration, and that's what I find really, really shocking, because it's one thing to support Hamas and say, I'm politically aligned to Hamas. It's another thing to actually legitimate and justify and even celebrate and laugh about the pain that's and the humiliation that you inflicted on human beings, and not to see that somehow when you kill young women and young men who are dancing at a music festival, it is not okay. That's not something that normal human beings simply casually accept as this is the new normal. But in their eyes, this is like a blow for freedom.